What's going on, yo? Welcome back to another video. This is the Handsome Duck, and today this is a video that I've been particularly excited about. This is a candy tier list. After doing the Office one and the NFL jersey one, I don't know why candy came to the noggin, but this is what I have today. So without further ado, I think we hop into it. This time we're actually going to go from the bottom to the top. Hershey's, quick A tier. I just think my one issue with it is if you've had anything else that day that has any amount of sugar in it, it just burns your teeth and you feel like every single one of your teeth has a cavity because it's just so sweet. But it's really good like whenever you're like, oh, I'm gonna make, if y'all are making s'mores, then you go and you fake like you're having a s'more and you just eat like 4 of these. Oh dude, that's the best. So easy A tier because they taste really really good. It's just one thing that keeps them from S, and that's the teeth. I can't really see this because this is small, but I think that's a pixie stick. I'm gonna give it I'll give it C. I mean, they're good. They're just like, I don't have them because it's more of a gimmick. It's like you get these at Dave & Buster's whenever you go there once a year, and you have like 8 tickets. This is all you can get. That's what you get. And then they're good. They're just not, there's no sustainability, if that makes sense. It feels like I'm just eating pure sugar. Oh shoot. Gumdrops. These are awful. Never in my life have I liked these. I'm gonna put Dots there too, cause Dots might be even worse. Dots might be the worst in the game on this one. I might have to make another lower tier just for Dots, cause these both are just atrocious. I hate both these. I mean, I feel like there's so much potential with these, like gummies, like little gummies with sugar on them, like that. On paper, it sounds delicious, but you have it and they're just not good. Almond Joys, I'm putting C. I mean, you'll find out later in this list, I really like chocolate bars. That's like, I don't think any of these chocolate bars on this list are gonna get anything below a B besides Almond Joy, just because the chocolate quality is not really there, and then their selling point is just the almond, and the almond isn't there either. So yeah, easy C tier for me. Again, not terrible. I always, whenever I was little and I'd go like trick-or-treating, I'd give those to my dad because my dad loves Almond Joys. So that's just like, that's really the only thing keeping it from D tier, is just those memories. Speaking of Halloween, candy corn. Candy corn gets so much hate, but like, I'm gonna say this is all candy corns, like the pumpkins and everything. The pumpkins might be a B tier for me, but like candy corn itself is a C, and then those ones that are like brown, those are a D. So I mean, overall, just give it a C. I think it gets so much hate, candy corn does. It's really not that bad. Really, honestly, I'll snack on these just during Halloween time. Like, I'll just snack on them. Which, I know so many people that just hate them and would never, ever eat these in a million years. But I think they're pretty good. Baby Ruth. Okay, they're alright. I mean, nothing too special. The chocolate quality isn't really there, but it's still like a good candy, you know? I just think like, if you're gonna have something with like nuts or something like with nougat or something else in there, you gotta go with the Snickers, or like a Heath bar. Gummy bears, alright. Haribo gummy bears, B. Off-brand gummy bears, like a C. I'll give it a B. I mean, really good. I like gummies too. I think they're pretty good. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. They're pretty good all-around candy, pretty clutch. If you're at a movie theater, it's always like you don't get these, but if you go with a big group, somebody always gets them, and then you end up like taking some from them. So that's. I mean, I just think it's a B tier candy just because I don't have them a lot, but when I do, they always hit. Skittles, hot take, M&M's over Skittles. I have Skittles at a B. Actually, I'll move them to A because they're just classics. They're good. They're definitely not my go-to in any situation, but like, they're good. Like, they're clutch. If I am at a movie theater and I don't know what to get and they have all these like off-brand candies, I go with Skittles because Skittles, again, they're clutch. Laffy Taffy, it's so hit or miss. It's like the pink one is like the only good one. Everything else kind of sucks. I'll give it a C. This is just like the Halloween candy, I feel like. At least where I'm from, Halloween, you just get Laffy Taffy. That's practically all it is. And I don't really complain. I mean, they're tasty. So, easy C tier for me, just because you get like a banana one. Oh my goodness, the banana ones are terrible. So, Heath bar, I said this earlier, it's just really just a Baby Ruth bar, except for I just think a Heath bar might be a little bit better. And also, like, you get Heath bar and you put it in ice cream, that's good. That's good stuff. So I don't know the difference between these two Skittles. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe these are no, because the sour Skittles are yellow. So I don't know. I'll just say they're Skittles. I don't really know. Okay, these things. Oh, these things it's the nostalgia that keeps it from a D. I don't really like them. They're way too sugary for me. But like, it's just the nostalgia. I just love the nostalgia with these. I do not like the taste. Whoppers. Okay. Whoppers? Whoppers are an underrated candy. It's the texture for me that's just so good. And then it's just chocolate. It's just chocolate with a good texture. Jelly beans. Again, assuming these are like on brand, jelly beans. B. I mean, you get the good jelly beans, like the good flavors. I kind of forgot what they are, but like, I'll know it if I have like a pack and I look on the back and it has all the ones. These, bro, they hit. The good flavors hit. The bad flavors are awful. So I'll just put it in B because they're mid. M&M's. I said this earlier. M&M's over Skittles. I might put them in S because they're like mini. I feel like they're just mini Hershey bars, if that makes it, like little tiny things. And these are a pretty good road trip one. But also there are just so many other candies that I think are better than this. I'll just put it here. Mike and Ike's. This is my favorite candy of all time. Fun fact: Mike and Ike's, my favorite candy. Nothing beats a good box of Mike and Ike's. I get like the 5-pound bag, and I'll have it in my room for like 3 months, and just snack on it periodically. Or if I have like a friend over, they snack on them. One thing I will say, just now thinking about it, M&M's, I'm gonna give it an S tier because I was looking at this list, double backing. There is no peanut M&M's on here, so I'm gonna say this doesn't account for all M&M's. Peanut M&M's are also one of my favorite candies. Peanut M&M's and Mike and Ike's, those are like my top candies of all time. Literally right here, I have a huge tub of peanut M&M's because for the last maybe 3 months, I always have candy in my room. And for the last 3 months, instead of like Mike and Ike's, pretty much for this whole summer, it's been peanut M&M's instead of Mike and Ike's, and I've just been snacking on peanut M&M's. And I like them because if you eat like one serving of peanut M&M's, since they have peanuts in them, it also has protein. So I feel better about myself. Like after eating them, I don't feel like I just had candy because like I feel like, oh, it still has nutritional value. Like you know that thing about how sour ropes are good for after the gym? Because sugar is like good after you work out. Instead of eating sour ropes, I'll have like 4 or 5 peanut M&Ms after I go to the gym. Plus, like, on top of my, like, protein shake or something, I'll have just, like, a little bit of sugar. And normally that'll be peanut M&Ms. So that's always tasty. Oh, these things are awful. These things, honestly, might be worse than Dots. Oh, my goodness. These things... Oh, these things are awful. Worst. Oh, caps lock is on. These are the worst in the candy game. Like these. But what's weird about them is sometimes you just can't stop eating them. Like I'll always get those at a random event. Then they'll just be lying around like my kitchen. And I'll go down to get a snack and I'll see them and I'll be like, maybe my taste buds have changed. And I'll take like 4 or 5 and I'll eat them and I'll be like, oh, these are awful. But since they're so small, I'll throw them in a handful and then I already have like 4 or 5 in my mouth, so I have to chew on them. And then I'm like, dang it, you know? These are honestly my least favorite candy of all time. And then you rip them off, the paper gets on them. Oh my goodness. It's just such a hassle. Ooh, Pop Rocks. Okay. I'm debating A here. But then again, I don't think I can give that to kind of like... I feel like they're like gimmick candies, whereas like... I feel like everything up here is a real candy. But Pop Rocks, Pixie Sticks, these things, even like this, like those are like gimmick candies. Where it's like, the selling point is just that it's like, oh, it's fun and it's sugary. And it's not just about like the candy part. So like I can't give it that an A, but some of the flavors are heat. Some of them like are so good. So I don't think I've ever had like a bad bag of Pop Rocks. And for like a span of probably like 5 years, we just had these sitting in our cabinet, and I remember I ate some that were like 4 years expired. And I was like eating them, my mom was like, are those expired? And I looked and they were expired. She was like, we gotta throw all these away. I'm like, they don't taste bad. That's like the last time I had Pop Rocks, and that was I don't know how many years ago, but that was the last time I had Pop Rocks, and they were still heat. I mean, all these flavors up here I've had, and they're all good. Pez. Okay, the candy itself, D tier. I mean, I think the grape one's good. The grape flavor's good. I think all I can say I've had is the orange, grape, and red. Quite possibly the blue. This is like an Easter candy right here. 'Cause, like every Easter, it'd be like, we get like our Easter baskets, and we go through them. But then like, I'd go to CVS the next day to get like a Gatorade before baseball practice, and I just see like in one section, probably in the span of like 5 feet on the shelves, is like everything in our Easter baskets, and it was always like we get like 4 Pez dispensers. Me and my siblings each would get like 4 Pez dispensers. So yeah, that's just again nostalgia points if we're including the little figures, because that'd be like a B. And also my middle school gym teacher had probably like at least 1,000 of these. I kid you not, at least 1,000 Pez dispensers in his office. And he was like our basketball coach, and he was like so chill. So we'd all go and like talk to him in his office, and it'd be like all everywhere in the room. It was awesome. So, but I'll give it a D tier because it's the candy. It's not the figurines. Lifesavers. Oh. I just saw Lifesavers here too. I don't know what's the differences of these. I'll give these both C. They're really, really good. And yeah, they're really good. But I'm trying to look down here to see if, because a point I was gonna make is like, I just prefer Mentos more. Mentos isn't on this list. I'm gonna bump them up to B, just because Mentos would be in B, and I'm gonna say that these and Mentos are going to be... This is Mentos. This is Lifesavers. Mentos here. Lifesavers here. Just because I think Mentos are a little bit better. Just by a bit. Maybe a tier higher. These definitely aren't bad. Actually, I'm going to move them both up to B. Because they do not deserve the tier with these candies. Okay? Blow Pops. No matter what you say, at the end of the day, it's just a sucker. I'll give it a C. I mean, I think suckers also kind of count as gimmick candies. That's my hot take, is that like suckers aren't really real candy. I mean, obviously you eat it and it's like a candy, but then it's not. I feel like a candy is like you sit down, you have a little bag, and then that's like it's like a dessert. It kind of takes the place of a dessert. But then these can't take the place of a dessert. Oh, as always, this fellow made the thing. If you guys want to check it out, it's on teirmaker.com. Yeah, I just don't think that is. Now, Milky Way, on the other hand, that does take the place of a dessert, and I'm gonna give it an A. It's one of my favorite candy bars. It's one of my favorite candy bars. I don't really have much else to say. It's clutch. I think it has nougat in there with caramel and chocolate, and that's a recipe for success. This is Fireball on it, so I can't say that. Oh, I've had those. Honestly, C tier. Again, it's a gimmick candy, so I don't feel comfortable putting it higher just because it feels like a gimmick candy. But that's definitely. Those are good. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had one in a while, but I don't think I've ever had one and been like disappointed. I know some people are like spicy and candy, and I'm normally that way. Like hot tamales, not a fan. Not a fan. I think it's a disgrace to the like Mike and Ike community, because they are really similar candies. But like these are like gobstoppers, which like these are like an upgrade from gobstoppers. 'Cause I don't think gobstoppers are that good. These are gas though. I love these. Milk Duds. Quick D tier. I think just Whoppers are so much better, and these are kind of very similar candies. Whoppers just have such a better consistency, and Milk Duds are just terrible consistency. It just doesn't feel good whenever I eat them. I have to get like real close. I think those are Nerds. I do like Nerds. Again, it's a gimmick candy, so I can't like. It's a small little like, tiny little like pebbles. But one thing is, I might do cereal tier list next because I'm a big cereal guy too. I cereal is like my expertise. But here, this is like kind of like Fruity Pebbles. But yeah, you know, like it's, I don't know. I just think it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick candy. The selling point is that you're just like, oh, it's little tiny things. You eat like a whole pack at once, you know. But like, that's not how it is for Skittles. And you're like, oh, you eat a whole pack at once. Oh yeah, you eat half the pack and you save it for tomorrow. So, I just think Nerds aren't that good. The taste is okay. I just don't think it's that good. Twix, easy S tier. This is probably my favorite candy bar. With the little like, it tastes like you're eating a cookie. It tastes exactly like what's in it. It's a cookie, caramel, and then chocolate, and that's perfect. I love all those things. Snickers, easy S tier. Normally, for a while, I was Milky Way over Snickers. Snickers, recently, I've just been like really big on, because you throw a Snickers bar in the freezer, and that thing gets hard and solid, dude. That's one of my favorite summer treats. Like, you mow the lawn afterwards, you go back and you get like 2 or 3 of the little mini Snickers. Dude, those are the best. Yeah, Snickers, easy S tier for me. Yeah, I mean, for both Twix and Snickers, the nostalgia and the taste is there. Sour Patch Kids. Oh, these are watermelon. I don't know if they're A or if they're S. I'm going to put them at A. Actually, I'm going to put them at S. I don't think I can, in good faith, have Sour Patch Watermelon and Sour Patch Normal in the same tier. I feel like one has to be better than the other, and I like Sour Patch Watermelon more than Sour Patch Normals. Hershey Kisses, S tier, just because like this for me, again, nostalgia. This is a Christmas candy, and I love like Christmas candies. If I'm not making any sense right now, it's 1:02 a.m. So I'm sorry. Anyway, next, Dum Dums, gimmick candy They're mid. Would much rather have a blow pop, or like if I think the last couple of times I've had these, they've either just been sitting on the counter from like one of my siblings, or I was at like the dentist or something, the doctor's office, and I'm like, they're good, but if you're gonna have something in like a bowl at a reception stand, gotta go with Lifesavers. That is 100% better than having Dum Dums in the little like bowl. Next up is Airheads. Airheads for me, easy A tier, cause they're just like, there's so many different ways to eat them, if that makes sense. Like you can like, for me, what I've always been a fan of is chewing on it like it's gum, because it has a similar texture to gum. So you chew on it and then you have it in your mouth, and the flavor lasts long. So that's always been my play. But then I know people who cut it up into slices and eat it. I'm like, that could be smart. Or you know the trick where you grab it and you start flinging it back and forth so it shrinks down really small? They're just like, there's not a single flavor that's bad. The consistency's good for something that is like, I feel like if you try to describe the consistency to someone who's never had one, they're like, that sounds disgusting. But they're the best. Lemon Heads. I love lemon heads. Lemon heads are so good. And you might be saying you put Hershey's, Skittles, and Milky Way all below lemon heads. And yes, I did. The texture is there. The flavor is amazing. Like, these are top tier candy. Alright, I'm going to fly through some that I think need no, like, reasoning to where I put them. So okay, the one I do feel like I need to explain, just because I wasn't looking at these and I just looked at the colors and I was like, I don't recognize that. Almost put it in D. Yeah, Gushers are awesome. I love Gushers. This was like, if you had Gushers in like 3rd grade, you were like the coolest kid ever. So Gushers is an easy A tier for me. Okay, next, I'm gonna go like row by row for all the D tier candies that I still see here that I feel like I need an explanation on. Okay, Tootsie Rolls, they get stuck in your teeth. They're really not that good. They're a gimmick candy. Really small candies to me are gimmick candies. Ring Pops, no, they're not the worst candy in the game, but they are a D tier because gimmick candy, they taste good. They taste really good. I'm going to give them that. They taste really good. But like, it's a sucker, and it always manages to make like all of your hands sticky, your lips sticky, like everything. Like, they're so hard to eat because I don't know how, but they're like a high maintenance candy to eat, if that makes sense. So, easy G tier for me. Twizzlers, I'm gonna give it a B, just because like every road trip that I go on with my family, my mom will pull over and get these at a gas station, and then she'll always get like the 40 pack because she'll have it so that when we drive the way back, we'll still have them, and she'll like eat them, and then I'll take like half of them. And she'll get mad, but they're only good during road trips, and they're an S tier candy on road trips. They're a D tier, C tier candy normally, so I'm gonna average it out, put it at a B. Reese's, S tier. These are really really good if you get the mini ones, like the small ones. You unwrap them and then you like cut them up and then you put them in ice cream. That is like heat. That's in my opinion peak Reese's usage. Also, one thing that I want to try but haven't is in Cobra Kai, whenever Sam LaRusso's making a s'more, she puts it Reese's there instead of chocolate. She's like, I call it a Sam-more, and it's one of the cringiest moments in the whole show. But whenever I saw it, I was like, that actually is kind of smart. I might have to try that. Yeah. Starburst. Honestly, B tier. I know a lot of people are like A, S, but the flavors, there aren't enough like good flavors, and the ratio of good to bad flavors isn't there enough to make it be any higher. And I'm always concerned because I eat them, and I'm like, this consistency is so weird that I feel like it has to be some sort of like wax that goes in there, and that's always is concerning to me. These cookie dough bites, I've actually never had them. I've always been wanting to try them. I'm gonna put them in D just because I think that they'd be bad. Because I think if they were good, everyone would be talking about them. Because on paper they look good, but then a little more of like firing through ones. Gobstoppers, D. They're not the best. I feel like they're kind of a gimmick candy. Candy cigarettes. I'm actually gonna put that in C just because they have a cool gimmick that actually is like pretty cool. And then like it's gum too, and I really like gum. York. A tier, nostalgia, and they're actually really good. These things, D. Where were the Razzles? I don't know what y'all know about Razzles. Razzles are terrible, and this again is the same instance with these circle things where every year randomly these spawn in my house, and they'll be sitting in the kitchen for months on months, and I'll go in there, I'll open them up, I'll dump out like 3, eat them, and I'll be like, ugh. And then these things, it's a coconut joy. It has coconut instead of almond. I don't like coconut. D tier. Smarties. C. We all had that one friend growing up that crushed these up and then snorted them. Same thing with the pixie sticks. I feel like it's again kind of a gimmick candy, but what also is good about them is they taste good, and this is always what like the teacher would hand out, you know? Like if they're like, if you guys are quiet, we'll hand out candy in like the like 5th, 4th grade and stuff. So that was always cool. Warheads. I'm a big fan of Warheads, but I think I just don't like regularly eating sour candies, and I also don't like how like their whole marketing isn't this is like such a good candy. It's that it's the sourest candy. I think this and Toxic Waste are kind of in the same boat. Toxic Waste would be a C or a D because they taste not that good. But Warheads are pretty tasty. Kit Kat, S tier. I love Kit Kats. Kind of similar to the Snickers. They're really good, like frozen and cold. And then they're also just like, in general, it's a good candy bar. Crunch Bars, S tier. Crunch Bars are so tasty. And they like, again, they crunch. And it's a really cool texture. I think that the chocolate itself, the taste of the chocolate, is better than Hershey's. I think it's the best tasting chocolate. Just the chocolate, not the crunch of any candy bar in the game. But Twix, I think, is the best just because it's the best. Three Musketeers is on par with the Milky Way. I personally like Three Musketeers more. I don't really know why. It might just be a nostalgia thing because I would always eat these. Like these, I'd have like always at like my grandma's house. So big fan of Three Musketeers. Alright. Swedish Fish. B. I actually really like Swedish Fish. I think they're really tasty and they're like gummies. I'm a big fan of gummies. Oh dear. Oh, I don't know where to put these. Because I feel like they're kind of in the same boat with a gimmick candy just because they're small. Just because they're like bite-sized. But they're also so good. Crap. This happens every 30 minutes on my computer. I kid you not. It makes me do that, and I can't stop until I click get deal, and then X, and then it gives me a chance at 30% off. I have to click 30% off, and then delete it again. Anyway, so right here, yeah, I'll give him a B tier. I can't think in good faith that I put Smarties down here, and these would be all the way in A tier. B tier for Jolly Ranchers. Fun Dip. It's a gimmick candy, but it's so good. This is like, I'm a big Fun Dip guy. A tier. Andy's Mints, S tier. Some could argue this falls in the boat of gimmick candy. Some argue that it's so miniature, why would you even bother? Some may say, why don't they just make a full candy bar? It's because these are only meant for when you're at a restaurant. Normally it's like a hibachi restaurant, and they give the check, and on it is anywhere from 35 to 75 of these Andy's Mints, and they are awesome. And you can also go and be like, hey, can I get some mints? And they'll just give you a big handful of them, and you can put them in your pocket, and you save them for later, and you put them in the fridge, and they're good frozen. You take them to school, and then you pass them out, and then like people like you. It's awesome. Sweethearts. I'm gonna say this accounts for all sweetheart forms. You know, the little chewables. Sweetheart ropes. Ooh, sweetheart ropes and Mike and Ike's are probably my favorite candies of all time. I'm gonna put that in S tier just because like that carries sweethearts. Besides the chewy bites, I also like those too. But normal sweethearts, they're alright. Tootsie Pops. I'm done with pretending like Tootsie Pops are better than Blow Pops. I think that they are personally awful. How are you making a chocolate flavored sucker and getting away with it? I just think that that's again, I said it before. There can't be two S tier Sour Patch Kids. There can't be two A tier Sour Patch Kids. I choose watermelon over the kids. You know? Bazooka gum. I said it before. Big gum guy. I love gum. I'm like always chewing gum. Right now, my favorite gum is the pink lemonade extra. It is limited edition, so, but it's easily the best gum. And what I used to do when I was in like the 6th grade or 7th grade, like sometime back in middle school, you go to Sam's Club, you get the box that has 20 packs of gum in it, and I'd take it to school, and I'd have one pack that would last me until lunch, one pack that would last me after, so that I had exactly 15 kids in my class, counting me. 15, no, I had 13 or 14 kids in my class, 15 pieces of gum per pack. So I would go, and I'd have like 2 extra pieces of gum after giving it to every single person in my class. And I, for like a 6-month span before my parents were like, why are you buying so much gum? I was like the coolest kid. Everyone thought I rocked because I was giving gum away to everyone. Yeah. Anyway, that isn't what I'm just gonna say is it counts for all gum. The Bazooka gum. Bazooka in and of itself is a good gum. Probably A or S tier. Again, nostalgia. Hubba Bubble. It's an A tier gum. I just think the flavor doesn't last that long. Honestly, sometimes I'd eat this whole roll in a day. This was another classic Easter candy for my family. Was we'd all get 3 rolls of this. My 3 rolls would be gone. Ooh, I don't know. In 2 days. Reese's Pieces. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they're bad. I'm going to put them in A tier, though, because they can either be S tier or C tier. I'm going to put them in A tier, though, because most of the time they're pretty good. Yeah. This is my final list. Like I said, Mike and Ike's my favorite candy of all time. That and Sweet Tart Ropes. And then down here, the worst candy in the game. I don't think that this one is deniable. I would be so impressed if somebody had these as their favorite candy. That would just blow me away. Yeah. So that was that. The ones that I sped through, I think it was like 5 of them, and I don't think those were controversial at all. Maybe Peeps was controversial, but those were never tasty. I enjoyed them maybe once or twice, but they were pretty bad. Alright, anyway, this video is already way too long, so without further ado, I think I should end it. It is 1:16 a.m. Anyway, you guys, you already know, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. If y'all enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Comment down below what you thought. Subscribe if you're feeling like it. And then, yeah, y'all stay well. God bless, and I'll catch you on the next one.